Alright guys, welcome to this new update on the price of Bitcoin, and today I have some interesting insights for you. First of all, if you remember, we were looking at the zone for the price potential drop, which was starting from $10,250 to something like $11,000, a little bit higher than that. And I've been showing you some support lines, moving averages, and drew some other arguments why actually this could happen and the price could go lower. At the same time, globally we were having a bull trend which may be much stronger than the one which we're having right now, the corrective move. So now I would like to address some details about that. And in principle, let's start with the obvious one, which is Fibonacci retracement levels. And I would look at the low, which was at $9,400 and the high at $12,300. Of course, you can move this retracement to a previous low, but after that we actually had a rise and then a correction of this rise after that. So I think it's more reasonable, and moreover, you could see that the retracement levels actually had reactions with the price on the way up. Moreover, the most recent ones here, 23.6 retracement, price had a reaction from that point, and 38.2%, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So price is actually moving in the channel between these two retracement levels. Now, this is my personal opinion, just kind of impression which I have from the news, from social networks, YouTube, Twitter, Telegram channels and everything. I have a feeling that the vast majority of people out there, including serious analysts, believes that we will go lower. The region for their interest starts from $10,000 to $11,000. A very few are saying about going to $8,000 or lower, but generally most of them are agreeing on the fact that we will go below $11,000. And that was actually our previous scenario as well, if you remember. There is a fair amount of arguments on that. Now let's look at the opposite scenario, because usually, as you know, when the majority of people is expecting the move of the price to the upside or to the downside, market actually goes against this majority. So while right now most of the people are expecting price going below $11,000, this may never happen. And okay, we have 50% retracement over there, which is $10,850, well, around that, and then 61.8% retracement, which is $10,500. Of course, we can have a full retracement below $10,000 and so on and so forth, but just let's concentrate on this area. So could it go there? Absolutely. But at the same time, even the move which we had from $11,800 to $11,200 was such a sharp that it is kind of alarming for everyone which is expecting the price going up and signaling that, okay, we are going down even more. So if a huge player, you would assume, who is driving the market one way or another, is trying to convince people to buy more in this area in order to sell this liquidity and move the price actually lower, why it would move the price in this awkward, manipulative, scary way? In my opinion, very unlikely. So this is more looks like a trap for those people who are expecting this type of moves to continue, so the price will move even lower and so on and so forth. What I am looking at right now is, you remember probably this pitchfork which we were drawing a few videos ago, starting from $14,000 as the top and then low and high, and actually, I added some proper Fibonacci retracement levels within this pitchfork instead of the default ones on TradingView, which is like 0.5, 0.75. So I added 0.380, 0.618, and 1.618, which is an extension level. And if you look at the price action when it was reacting with those levels, it is amazing how we can see the pullbacks back and forth from those levels all over the place during this correction. And then at this point, we had a reversal to the upside. Now we're in the upper part of this pitchfork, and actually, price is still within the same upper channel between 1 and 0.618. Moreover, price did test the bottom of this channel already 3 times after it had some rejections from the top of the channel, well, actually multiple rejections. And now it seems like it is reasonable to test the upper area once again. In fact, it is actually closer than going below that and trying to test the bottom of the previous area. But the main point is that we are still in a kind of same condition, although we had this significant drop recently. So in my opinion, this part is actually like a magnet for the price to move to the upside, and then as soon as the move will be finished and will hold above this level, the next is 1.618 level, which is above $12,800. Of course, it will depend on where the price will hit it, but also this is another stop along the move to the upside of the price. And also it has the previous peak at 13,000, so you would expect that we may have a pullback from this level as well. So considering this, the move within the channel which we are looking at right now is actually quite reasonable. And you know, there's a thing about the trading Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. The market here always changes its behavior. So at some point, very simple thing like reaction with moving averages or technical analysis patterns will play out. But at another point, the price actually moves quite in the opposite way. Or for example, it tries to collect stop orders below the certain levels of support or above certain levels of resistance. The other day it actually doesn't even hit those levels, and so on and so forth. So market always changes its behavior, and we have to adapt and try to predict in which way it would react next. So maybe after all those tricks which we saw in the previous price action, the very simple one will play out. And now recalling those pitchforks channels, this one may actually be very valid. So we have a kind of a bull flag right here with the target around $14,000. Of course, it will depend on the point where the price will move this flag. But this is the simple pattern which may actually work, and all of the sophisticated analysis which one may do on price action will be invalid. And I must urge you that this actually would probably happen pretty soon, because you see the volume is declining a lot and we are almost at the very low volume area, as well as we had here before the huge rise. So I wouldn't be surprised if within like next few days we will see this move. Although of course, don't forget that everything which I say is my personal opinion, not a financial advice, but this is the way how I see the market situation at the moment. Another thing which I was going to show you is how the chart looks in Heikin-Ashi candles on a weekly time frame. I made a video on Heikin-Ashi some time ago, so just go to the technical analysis playlist and you can find it there. And basically, in a couple of words, what we are looking at is, if you make this view of the chart, then it a bit in a lagged form, but still it shows you the strong uptrend and strong downtrend. So for example, here you see in the previous bull market we had green candles without lower shadows, which means that we are in a strong uptrend. And as soon as we had a reversal, we had red candles, and recently there were only candles without the upper shadows. And this is the signature of the strong bear trend. At the same time, in March, we had this doji type candle indicating to the stop of the trend and the reversal. And indeed, after that, we had 5 green candle without the lower shadows. So this is a bull trend. In fact, the current one is still green without a bottom shadow, so we are pretty much in the same condition. But if we looked at a bit zoomed in picture, namely the weekly time frame, then you would see that again, the recent months with green candles all over the place, we had only one correction on Heikin-Ashi over here. It was pretty minor one, so we didn't have it in a red candle, but this one was a strong correction. And as soon as we had a green candle with a lower shadow, this was a correction indication, and then we had these red candles as well. But recently, 2 weeks ago, we had this red candle which looks like a doji and seemingly a reversal candle, and then we have 2 candles without bottom shadows as well. So it seems like on Heikin-Ashi the trend is bullish. Of course, we may change it, we may see more red candles, it depends on the price, but statistically and according to this trend, we are going to the upside, guys. And now the last thing which I was going to show you is the thing which I posted on Telegram and on Twitter as well. This is the Elliott wave count for the current correction and the move after this correction. Of course, this is just a one example of that, and I'm really not the best specialist in Elliott wave theory, but here is what you can see in principle if you'll put some simple projections to the price. So you can actually have ABC correction of the whole previous growth to $14,000, which would be consisting from 3, 5 waves, and then it may indicate the correction is over, although again here you can find some variations, and then you can expect the correction is over and we are starting the new one with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. But in any case, it is very unlikely that we will see the move below previous $9,500 or maybe even below $10,800. So again, go to my Twitter or Telegram to get more on the comments from the specialists on Elliott waves. There are some valuable opinions on that, but I just wanted to show you that even with this concept you can find some reasonable and bullish scenarios which would fit the overall picture that we are looking at with other reasons and arguments that we were discussing in the previous videos. Alright guys, I think that is it for today. I hope that it was useful. Thank you for watching.